So, you can't comprehend the feeling of being alone. You might have a million contacts on your phone, but imagine if the only contact you had was labelled home. You walk around in your group chatting all kinds of shit. Imagine if you had no one to listen to it. Girls go in pairs to the loo, go Nando's and get a table for two. Imagine sitting alone with no one opposite you. You sit telling your partner they're acting distant, what some people would give just to have that for an instant. And when you can understand this, you'll see far past the hard grasp of your so-called reality. But this isn't about sympathy, loneliness, or even empathy. This is about social construction, about the guidelines given to an individual, a precise list of instructions, which were pre-created before your procreation. The kind of instructions that tell you to act a certain way, teaches you table manners and tells you how to behave. And for the most part, you'll follow these for the rest of your life, teaching you not to swear and to always eat with your knife in your right hand, and to think up, speak up against bullying, to take a stand. See, students can probably relate to this more than most, because schools and colleges, they're the most likely place for bullying over uncontrollable aspects such as hair colour, gender and race. If you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? The kind of person who can't, because looking in the eyes of hypocrisy is too much. Why do people hate when there's no obvious gain? To look cool for 5 seconds for taking the piss out of someone's name, or to try and get rated for slating someone just because they're German or Asian. There's no obvious accomplishment from acting like a bully. But as I said before, this has nothing to do with those who mistreat people. And this has nothing to do with trying to make people think a certain way. Because at the end of the day, if every single anti-bullying campaign and advert plastered adjacent to the window of your Southwest train isn't going to make you see that how you make people feel isn't okay, then understand, this isn't about me trying to persuade. You see, this is about understanding the social norms held by all people, whether 15 or 44. That it's not about trying to change the individual, and it's not about trying to make someone understand what they did was wrong and it's time to repent, because you'll just involve yourself in a cycle that won't ever end. If you want to make a difference, you've got to think big, dream bigger and make sure your message sticks. The world has problems based around hate, but don't let this unrelenting emotion decide the fate of the life you spend your time trying to create. I didn't write this to make people aware of the countless human errors that are starting to tear through the very core of our broken society, and a world unjustifiably locked in a silent rivalry between good and bad. And even though a balance can't be found, just be sure that when you find yourself on the right side of the line, to stand up, stand out, and look like a leader, because this world needs strong characters, not just another preacher.